I'm John Kovach. I'm a newspaper editor. I'm a radio announcer. I'm a high school football coach. And since I was old enough to stand on the side of a stream next to my dad, I've been an angler. I've fished with bait, lures, and flies. I've fished with spinning gear, fly rods, jigging poles, and tip-ups. I've stood on ice, waded rapids, and been tossed about the deck of a boat. And I want you to love fishing, be it freshwater or salt, heavy flows, high seas, or cutting through a foot of ice, as much as I do, no matter what the quarry, no matter the tactics, no matter the chosen tackle. Welcome to Yankee Fisherman. And welcome to Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop on the HAN Network. Thursday, April 14th. Yeah, tax season's upon us. Great. So maybe that's why they put opening day of fishing season in the middle of April, so that we can get through it. And for as cold as it was, we had a great opening day here in Connecticut on April 9th. I've heard good things from the surrounding states. A lot of fun. We're going to take a look at Connecticut a little bit later in our second segment. But first, some old friends of the show are joining us again. They date back to our audio-only days. We visited them last summer, had a great time. Wish I could have spent more time there. And I really would love to get up there and see these, because Pete Nardini is joining us. He is communications coordinator for the American Museum of Fly Fishing. It's right on the main street in Manchester, Vermont. And they have some really exciting exhibits and events going on. And Pete, thanks for coming on.
Oh, thank you.
Now, we talk a lot about the traditions of fly fishing. You've got some stuff that dates way back on exhibit right now.
Oh, yes. So we, for a while, we've had these a collection of flies dating back to the late 1700s. It's part of a bigger collection that spans, almost a century of flies. But the earliest one we have, and it's actually the oldest known flies to exist in the world right now, goes back to 1789. There was a dozen trout flies tied by Thomas Cummis from Ireland, complete with the bill of sale and everything, which is pretty amazing. So we have, go right back to 1789. It's pretty impressive.
And some of these were fished. We're looking right now at one of the cards, and it mentions 23 August of 1791, bright day, killed 4 salmon at Galway. So this fly was actually fished in Ireland, we believe?
Absolutely. Yep. So a lot of the flies in this collection have either bills of sale or descriptions of how they were used and what kind of fish they caught. In particular, the fly you're looking at right now from 1791, that's actually the first known use of golden pheasant in fly tying.
I was going to bring that up, that you see so many materials that we still see today. It looks like there's some peacock herl in there. It looks like there's some mallard flank or the like in there. I'm seeing golden pheasant in there. Looks like a ginger hackle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's basically right around the time where it turned. You saw an explosion of color, basically, in those Irish-style flies for salmon or trout. Basically, it's just these tyers just started tinkering with all these beautiful foreign materials that started to be brought back by the British explorers. And a lot of that stuff's either really hard to come by these days, or if you want to recreate a pattern like this, it takes weeks, because you have to either physically dye the material and go through a very long process of that kind of stuff, where we're kind of spoiled these days with the synthetics and all of that. It's pretty amazing just seeing how it goes back, and how you can almost see, just looking at that fly, the whole kind of evolution of how everything's come to be right to this day with fly tying. Because before that, it was you had earth tones really kind kind of bland coloring. Right around that time, 1700s, that's when you started seeing all of this, all the brighter material coming back with the explorers.
And you can see that some of these patterns still carry through today. We have that one that we just had up briefly that has the tire's name on it. It actually has who ordered it. That would be that next one. It's dated 1789, and it's just a, here's 1 dozen of patterned trout flies for Lee Monk, tied by Thomas Comers near, what's that, Kilbrede?
Yep. Kilbrede, I think.
Kilbrede in 1789. Yeah. How did the museum come into possession of these flies?
So these were from a researcher named Harris. He came by these flies, 1970s, I want to say. They had gone through generations of family in England and made their way to Dorothy Downs of Branford, Connecticut. She had donated them to the museum in 1991, but we really didn't know at that point exactly what we had and the whole significance of it. It wasn't until until Harris kind of came through and the J.R. Harris had come through and organized and annotated the whole collection, where we kind of opened up our eyes as far as what kind of a catch we had there. It's pretty amazing.
And there are some extensive notes as to who they were tied for, and what exactly they were, what materials were used. You almost have the recipes in old cursive handwriting, which, if we believe the stories that are all over now about them not teaching cursive anymore, this looks like secret code to our younger viewers, but there are some of us who can actually read that.
Oh yeah, and the materials are just amazing. Some of the there's actually one in a picture here tied by Peter O'Halloran. It uses a grass leader, so it's woven Indian grass, and you can just imagine having your meal or your catch for the day rest on a blade of grass. But that's the whole connection between you and the fish.
That's it. You were fishing for sustenance at this point in history. You really weren't, catch and release guys out there for the most part.
Right. Yeah, and it was all for sustenance. It wasn't for the art of fly fishing or anything like that. It was totally stripped down, and you were just it was the way to fish, and it was the most efficient way to get food on the plate for your family. And a lot of it's changed as we go through and understand more about the fisheries and have other resources available to us. But that was the main purpose back then, was to get food on the plate. And a lot of these tires weren't very well off, so that we'd see one of the recipes calls for fur from the underside of a rat. So you wouldn't be using those materials today. It was kind of almost like how food, kind of like regional food evolved. If you were on the seacoast in Italy, you're eating calamari, but if you were in the middle, you're eating tripe and stuff like that, because it's all what was cheap and easily available to you at the time, and you could make a lot of flies and catch fish. It was all about what was quick and efficient and cheap, and it's pretty amazing just to see all of these, even down to the tying recipes intact, and so you get a really good understanding as far as, it paints a really nice picture as far as what they were using and everything back then.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do it, but it looks like you could fish them. Now, I want to get back to the grass leader that you mentioned, and that's the one that I think we have up right now, because it appears to be what I would think has to be one of the earlier articulated flies.
Yes. Yep, it certainly is. To our knowledge, that is a lot of these in the collection are like the other one that used the pheasant, and this one right here. It's you're seeing the earliest examples Irish style flies.
Do we know a lot about the tire who's been identified?
No, we don't. It's just a lot of the just mention of their name for the most part on the bill of sale. Unfortunately, we basically just have the flies to go by as far as reference. So we have the flies in the recipes for sure, and most of the tires, if we do have information for them, it's because they mention what shop they tied it at, and we can research, trickle down our research through that. But for the most part, we don't know about these tires.
Now, as we said, most of those flies that were used during the 18th century was fishing for sustenance. Wine goes nice with fish. Tell us what's going on with wine.
Yes, that's a good transition.
It's
we
what I do.
Have a wine label art exhibit coming up. Should be sometime in the summer. It's just showing the evolution as far as comparing the art of fly fishing to the art that's depicted on wine labels, and it was a pretty natural transition there. So it just kind of brought on a pretty impressive stream of artistic endeavors focused on the sport. We have a large body of illustrated literature and painters in the fly fishing community with magnificent landscapes, and wildlife paintings and paintings of trout. So it was only a matter of time before that went took off into canvas and on wine labels. So we have a few coming up that kind of just combines the passion of for angling and the art of the whole deal there. A lot of it's very recent too. A lot of these bottles, when we're hoping to get most of the original artworks that went on these labels. We have a few from the Lang Winery in Washington. Where a lot of these are from areas where fishing is a big part of the culture, like steelheading. So their label has a steelhead fly on the cover because it's from Washington and things like that. And we have Pike's wine from England as well. So we're going to have at least probably at least eight wineries and art available for viewing when we do get the exhibit up in the summer.
Oh, that's going to be a fun one. I'd like to get up there to see that. And you also have some old Field and Streams, I know, some old magazine covers.
Sure. Yep. So that's going to be up in our Gardner Grant Library. We had a previous exhibition with the New Yorker magazine, and that took off really well. It was just showing the fly fishing covers on the New Yorker. So we're doing the same thing with Field and Stream magazine, because that basically, from when they started as Northwestern Field and Stream in St. Paul, Minnesota in 1895 up until the 1970s, all of their cover art was done by artists, and it's not the photography that everybody switched to today. So there was very well-known artists that contributed covers to Field and Stream, and we're kind of showcasing the ones who did fly fishing specific.
And they are such wonderful, wonderful works of art. The old fishing specific, we're talking here, the old hunting covers where it's a painting. They're just they so capture the colors and the moment almost better than photography. Absolutely.
It's just amazing just to see the detail, no matter what kind of range they were doing, whether it was a landscape or wildlife or something to do with kind of a humorous tone. Everything is just super, super detailed, and you're right. It's just like you're looking at a picture. You get the same effect and even better in most cases.
Very, very cool. Now, you're going to be down in our neck of the woods. We're based in southwestern Connecticut, and you're going to be at a big event down in New York City coming up.
Correct. Yes. So we have the honor of presenting our 2016 Heritage Award to Ted Turner, which everybody pretty much knows. He started started CNN, was a big media mogul, and he's really a big fly fisherman. And basically, the reason why we are honoring him is because of his contributions to the environment and conservation of our fisheries. He's really put his money where his mouth is as far as that's concerned, and it's just going to be a really nice night. We're having it at a private club in New York City. Starts at 6:15 in the evening, goes till around 9 o'clock. We'll have a regular awards dinner and fundraising auction there as well. We're auctioning off a couple of one of the last two sets of Stan Bogdan paired salmon reels there, and a lot of other trips and fly fishing equipment and things like that. So it's really going to be a nice night, and we're really looking forward to honoring him for all he's done for the fly fishing community.
I just have to ask, any tickets to that, or is that event closed out?
No, you can purchase tickets online at amff.com. Should be the first slide on our homepage. Goes right to the 2016 Heritage Award. It's not a closed event. It's just it's at a private club, so it's tough to get the word out about that otherwise.
Well, hopefully we got the word out, and I really would love to get up and see these 18th century flies and the way that these flies and fly fishing have been depicted in artwork. You've got a great facility up there. Really had a great time seeing you last summer. And I'm glad we could spend some time talking about what's going on at the American Museum of Fly Fishing. Pete Nardini, thanks for joining us on Yankee Fisherman.
Oh, thank you. Glad to be on.
Are you hoping winter is finally in our rearview mirror? Can't wait for the air and water temperatures to start rising? Well, if the answer is yes, you need to get over to Darien or Westport and stop by the Dock Shop, where it's always summer. Both shops are being stocked with lots of new merchandise, including fishing tackle, marine electronics, boating supplies, and more. But remember, the Dock Shop isn't your average tackle shop. At the Dock Shop, you'll also find the finest selection of nautical apparel, jewelry, home decor, and gifts in New England. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, and 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport. Online at dockshop.com.
Had a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care open Monday through Saturday in the I Park building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or go to coastalorthoexpress.com. That's coastalorthoexpress.com. Like them on Facebook.
Walter Stewart's Market in New Canaan is your time-saving local shopping destination for the best of spring. Find many of your favorite products, from great specials on everyday items to the freshest organic produce, artisanal cheeses, and grass-fed steaks. Drop off your knives to be sharpened, grab a beautiful bouquet of spring flowers, and stop in next door for a wine tasting. Plus, their personable staff is always ready to lend a helping hand. So stop in to Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street today, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
Join the HAN Network and Make-A-Wish Connecticut to help make travel wishes come true for local kids with life-threatening medical conditions. Donate your unused airline miles to the HAN Network Wishes in Flight campaign. Together we can share the power of a wish.
Hi, I'm Rob Adams with my good friend Donald Eng, and we're the home team for Nutmeg Sports, Monday through Wednesday at 2 o'clock right here on the HAN Network. We are the place for all things Connecticut sports, so come hang out with us on Nutmeg Sports. Don? They don't call him the best color man in the game for nothing. Nutmeg Sports, 2 o'clock, Monday through Wednesday, right here on the HAN Network.
Welcome back to Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop on the HAN Network. Thank Peter Nardini again for coming on with us and talking about the great exhibits up at the American Museum of Fly Fishing. just the fact that those flies are still in the shape they're in, despite the fact that they were tied in 1789, 1791. It's just amazing. And that you can still see some of the same patterns or touches thereof. It's just fascinating to see something still in that good a shape and still being used. So as we said, it was opening day in Connecticut last Saturday. Couple of other states as well. It was a bit brisk. I got out for a little bit and saw some guys fishing. Met some good people.
This is not supposed to be the view out the driver's window on opening day of trout season. This is supposed to be the start of spring. I'm not supposed to be in a winter coat with 2 pairs of gloves, fleece, and just hoping to stay warm, but it's what we got here in Connecticut in 2016. There's a meme making the rounds on the internet. It has a picture of a church. It says, some people go to church and think about fishing. I'd rather be on the river and think about God. And that's where you found a lot of people on Saturday when, despite the cold, they turned out for opening day in Connecticut. Nice little fish though. Nice little rainbow, it looks like.
Yep, nice rainbow. It's right in the nose.
Nice release. Keep him in the water.
They threw 2 nice net holes over at the cemetery, Oak Lawn Cemetery.
Yeah.
You know what, right down the road?
Yeah.
2 nice ones, but that's hard. Big ones laying. But I don't want to get in the water over there and scare them.
Yeah. You're better off keeping some distance.
No, that looked like something fell off the tree there. Yep. I hit it.
Stay with it. He's still got it.
Yeah, I got it. Hey, Jimmy.
You get him?
I just lost 2.
Hey, rainbow.
I had 1 brown too. Oh, yeah. That's a decent size one.
Yeah. Oh, that's a nice one.
Oh boy. I almost took a header from it down. I
And this is Richard.
He
I met
hit
him
hard.
out there. I'm hoping to see him again. I've been in touch with him. And he just
Nice
had
one.
this hole, and he just kept pulling him out. I mean, he just had a great day. If you're trying to get footage of somebody catching fish, this was the guy to find on opening day because he just kept pulling him out and just really had an awesome day. Great releases on these two.
It's all right. It's a fish.
It's a baby.
It's all right.
It's a fish.
It's a good sized fish.
It's your baby.
Beautiful. Good job. It is nice.
I must have caught at least a dozen.
Oh yeah, that is a nice fish. I can see it from here.
Oh yeah, that's a nice brown. Yeah. Almost like the century.
He's got some fight in him. That is a nice fish. That is a nice fish.
Would you like it?
That was the same spot. He just kept hitting and hitting. Was a rough day for the cameras. It was cold, but there were a lot of people out. And as you can see, some people did well. Fun day on opening day. We're going to come back and wrap things up on Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop. Can't wait for it to get warmer so you can start fishing again? Get over to the Dock Shop, where they have the latest in fishing tackle, marine electronics, boating supplies, and more. But remember, the Dock Shop isn't your average tackle shop. You'll also find the finest selection of nautical apparel, jewelry, home decor, and gifts in New England. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, dockshop.com.
A Better View Window Cleaning Plus has been cleaning glass all over Connecticut for over 20 years. They also specialize in cleaning chandeliers, mirrors, skylights, tiles, and will power wash anything that needs cleaning. They hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and are fully insured and bonded. When you deal with a Better View, you're dealing with the best, not the rest. Call today for a free estimate, 203-284-8836, or visit them online, abetterviewcleaning.com.
It's time to come back to hometown banking, where people are taken into account, not just balances. Where community comes first. A place where there's more than one kind of interest. Where automation will never replace consideration. Where they not only know your name, they know your dog's name too. It's time to expect more. It's time to bank well. Bank smart. Bank local. Bank well.
At the Sylvan Learning Center of Darien, experienced teachers and personalized academic support equals superior results. Our certified teachers uncover skill gaps, address specific needs, and help students realize greater academic success and increased confidence. We're enrolling now. Individualized after-school tutoring in reading, math, history, elementary math, algebra, geometry, calculus, high school science, and study skills. For a free consultation, call 203-655-3276 or email gmcsylvan@gmail.com.
I'm Kate Chaplinsky. Join us for Coffee Break, weekdays at 11 to get the latest Connecticut news, weather, high school sports, and more. News doesn't get any more local than on Coffee Break on the HAN Network.
Welcome back to Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop. This Thursday, April 14th, I've got some fishing planned this weekend. So do some bass guys, any bassin'. Saturday and Sunday, they're going to be kicking off their Connecticut seasons. Hopefully, I'm going to swing by one of those and get some footage. Taking another look back at opening day of trout season in Connecticut. Big brown caught by Matt Walsh of Wilton, and he talked to the Wilton Bulletin about it. This is an 18-inch 3-pounder. He caught it right along Route 7, really, across from the Walmart at the Norwalk-Wilton line. Nice catch there, Matt. You can read the story in wiltonbulletin.com. Also at the Wilton Bulletin, I just want to take a moment to acknowledge it and services are this weekend for Tom Fujitani. The family is receiving friends Friday from 4 to 8 p.m. That's at Cornell Memorial Home, 247 White Street in Danbury. Mass of Christian Burial for Coach is Saturday, April 16th. That's at 10 a.m. at St. Agnes Church on Stanwich Road in Greenwich. Avid angler, I know some guys who told me that he taught them how to fly fish. He was a coach that I covered when I was a sports writer. He was a coach I spent time talking to. He is somebody who I changed the opening of this show because of something I heard him say when he received a Lifetime Achievement Award from the local chapter of the National Football Foundation. So, thoughts go out to Tom Fujitani's friends and family. He was a great guy. He's going to be missed. And, well, you know what, Tom? Tight lines.